Hey, what's going on, everybody? FullFrontage here today, bringing y'all a Clash mini video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over a tier list. If you didn't see, I'm going to be hosting a stage channel alongside Enchantin', and we'll have Draco, Frame, and Donghang to talk about the balance changes and maybe some more things. We'll have to see. If you're able to tune in, it's going to be tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. I will leave a link to the Clash mini Discord in the description below, so make sure you check that out. But let's hop into the tier list, and to kick things off, we're going to be starting with the minis. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about the certain minis and thoughts process and everything like that, but this is just my opinion based on my experience within the meta. So just keep that in mind. Let me know if you agree with anything or disagree down in the comment section below. This is going to be a great forum to kind of discuss potential changes and pass that feedback onto the team, so that coming into update 6, maybe there'll be some changes that will happen. So, kick things off, we're going to start with the Knight. I think the Knight is the worst mini in the game. I think most people would agree with that. Then up next, we have the Guard. I think the Guard is a pretty close second, if you ask me. Not too much for it there, but I think those are the only two, like, really not viable minis, you barely see them kind of thing, that are currently in the meta. Next up, we're going to go with the Spear Goblin in the C tier. Slightly more used, but not too much. And then we're going to go with the Witch in the C tier as well. I think the Witch has some good uses, but honestly, Witch would be a lot more relevant if World Champion is actually good. But since it's not, Witch still has some play, but it's not like a... I'm not putting it in the B tier because it's more of a carry unit. It's a 4 elixir mini. It's not as great, so it's a little bit harder to justify a use case for the Witch. Next up, we're going to put the Swordsman in the C tier. Kind of the same thing. Swordsman is really only usable in a couple decks. It's still pretty good, but it's not a mini that we currently see constantly in the meta. And then I'm also going to be putting the Fisherman in the C tier as well. And let me just browse through, make sure there's nothing else. Okay, we're good. And then in the bottom of the B tier, I'm going to go with the Magic Archer. I think the Magic Archer, kind of similar use case as Witch, but a little bit more usable. So we're putting the Magic Archer there. Then I'm going to be putting the Bowler right in front of it. Kind of a similar situation. I'm also going to be putting the Prince right in front of the Bowler. Prince is still somewhat usable. When you see the Prince, it's a little bit... It changes how you play the game, changes your positioning, so it has more of an impact when Prince is in play. So that's why I'm putting Prince in the B tier. Now let's also go with the Mini Pekka in the B tier. We'll go with the Golden Giant in the B tier. Let's go with the Musketeer in the B tier. We'll go with the Lumberjack. Dark Goblin. We'll probably put the Dark Goblin kind of around the Musketeer. Valkyrie we'll put in the B tier. We'll throw the Wizard in the B tier. Let's throw the Miner in the B tier as well. We'll throw the Electro Wizard in the B tier. Let's go with the Archer in the B tier. Go with the Barbarian in the B tier. And yeah, that's it for my B tier minis. I'm pretty comfortable with this list. I think Archer is like borderline A, B tier type thing. And then everything else is just kind of like staple minis that you want to have included in your decks. That's kind of what I'm looking at. A tier for me is like, these minis are almost like at least one of these minis are like must have in your deck. Like if you don't have one of these minis in your deck, you might struggle a little bit. So in the A tier, I'm going to go Ice Wizard. We're going to go with the Healing Ranger. We'll go with the Giant Skeleton, and then we'll also go with the Battle Healer. I think it's pretty important to have at least one of these minis when you're building your deck. And Mega Knight. So I think it's important to at least have one of these minis in your deck when you're talking about deck building process. With the heroes, there's certainly things that pair well with others. Like, for example, Mega Knight pairs well with Countess, pairs well with World Champion, pairs well with Archer Queen. Battle Healer pairs well with Barb King, pairs well with Skeleton King, pairs well with Shield Maiden. Giant Skeleton pairs well with Wave Master, pairs well with Skeleton King, pairs well with Archer Queen, pairs well with World Champ. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like those kind of things that like one of these minis almost feels like a must-have when you're building a deck. And then the S tier, this is going to be a little bit controversial. I'm putting the Royal Ghost in the S tier, and I'm putting the Pekka in the S tier. I don't think Pekka's controversial. I think we can all agree Pekka is probably is the strongest unit in the game right now. Guaranteed 12 damage. You have to spend 12 elixir for it, yes, but 1 elixir for 1 damage. I think Pekka is arguably the best mini in the game right now. And I'm putting Royal Ghost in the S tier because it needs to get nerfed. It needs to have an attack speed per upgrade nerf. Currently, it has 0.2 per level up. Its base attack speed is 0.6, which means at max level that the Royal Ghost will have a 1.2 hit per second attack speed, which means when it's able to start ramping up and getting hits, especially with isolation, getting an increase now, the Royal Ghost really doesn't get targeted. If you don't have a unit that has a quicker attack speed than 1.2 seconds, you're probably not going to get a shot off on the Royal Ghost. You might get like one off, but it's very, very hard to take down a Royal Ghost. Royal Ghost can like single-handedly wipe out a comp, and especially with the recent changes to gizmos where all their HP has been nerfed, that kind of allows a Royal Ghost to not get stuck on a gizmo for too long. It'll get stuck on it, but it'll take it down and then shift over to the next unit and then start dealing damage to that, especially when it's level 3. When it takes down a unit, it gets the heal, so even if you did do damage to it, Royal Ghost is going to heal back up. So I think Royal Ghost is far too strong. It needs a nerf. I don't know why they haven't nerfed the attack speed per upgrade yet. That's literally the only problem with the Royal Ghost. Everything else is good. Its kit is pretty good right now. It's in a good spot. It's a great unit. It's a great kit to have. It's a great support unit. It's a great glass tank. But the hit per second is simply too much. It needs to be able to get hit at least 1 or 2 times. Like guaranteed 1 time at minimum. Because that way, if the Royal Ghost is still on a sliver of health, it's not just constantly getting hits off and not taking any damage. It's too strong. It needs a hit per second nerf. Next, let's go over the heroes. World Champion, D tier. I'm so happy I was wrong about World Champion, as were most of the creators. Then in the B tier, I'm going to throw the Monk. I think Monk is just kind of run-of-the-mill average hero right now. It's not World Champion status, but it's not every other hero in the game status. Then, in no particular order, in this A tier, I'm going to go Skeleton King, Barb King, Archer Queen, Wave Master, and Shield Maiden. And I'm putting Countess in the S tier as the best hero in the game. And it's like, if this is the line for between A tier and S tier, Countess is like right here. It's like right above the line. And then everything else is just like right here, right below the line. The reason I'm putting Countess, I talked about this in the creator roundtable that we hosted on the Discord channel on Sunday, was Countess is one of those units that, with the Healing Ranger targeting the furthest ally, it's going to most of the time hit Countess. When you have the pair of the Mega Knight, the Miner, Healing Ranger, the Ice Wizard, that combination of units to be able to stun, slow, heal, dissipate, anti-heal, you have like all the control based effects in one single deck, and it is very difficult to stop. I think that combination of units makes Countess so strong, and I think it just slightly edges out, makes like the combination of minis just slightly edges out. I don't think Countess is like, Countess itself feels good right now. It's just the minis that are in the meta just kind of push Countess over the edge. So that's what we're looking at in the current meta. That's my opinion. Obviously, there are certain maps that can change this. Like I think Wave Master, I don't think Countess is as good on Banquet Hall as a Barb King or Skeleton King or Wave Master. I think there are other, like it really depends on the map, but it's just like borderline for me. An average amount of the time, Countess is just better than other heroes. So that's just the way I'm looking at it. Again, it's just that like Countess is like right here and everything else is just like right here. And this is just that line. It's just teetering the line, and it really depends on the maps that are available, the gizmos that you have. But that's my opinion. And then I'm not going to rank gizmos, but honestly, S tier, King Tower, Elixir Pump. Everything else is situational. If you see a King Tower or an Elixir Pump, odds are you're picking that like 10 times out of 10. There's no question about that. King Tower, Elixir Pump. If you see both of those, then you're trying to decide which one is more beneficial for your game. Probably the Elixir Pump, but those two, and then everything else is just extremely situational. But that is going to do it for this tier list. Let me know what you think of this down in the comment section below. And don't forget to tune into the stage channel tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to be taking if you have any questions for the stage channel, if you're going to miss it, there will be a recording of it. I think Santo is going to be recording it and posting it. So be on the lookout for that in the Discord. But if there are any questions you have for the stage channel, if you're not able to make it, post those down in the comment section below. But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe for more content, and don't forget to turn that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos. And I'll talk to you all in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later. Peace out.